My name is Piper Hayes. I'm 32 years old, and this is the story of how I stopped fighting to be heard in a house I already owned. Jason and I have a fundamental disagreement about reality. I believe that if you live in someone's house, eat their food, use their Wi-Fi, and sleep in their bed, you are in a partnership. Jason believes he is a celestial event, brief, brilliant, and never accountable for the damage he leaves behind. We'd been together for 2 years. For the last 6 months, he'd been living in my house. My name is on the mortgage. My name is on the utilities. My name is the only one on the paperwork. But somehow, somewhere along the way, I became a guest in my own life. I work from home as a graphic designer. I like routine, quiet mornings, grocery lists that make sense. My idea of chaos is trying a new brand of coffee creamer. Jason is not like that. Jason's life is a performance. His audience is his 3 closest friends, loud, opinionated, always present. I privately thought of them as a chorus. They laughed when he laughed, scoffed when he scoffed, reinforced every bad instinct he had. Last weekend, the fracture finally surfaced. I was in the kitchen, stirring pasta sauce, barefoot on cold tile, when Jason swept in, already dressed to go out. Phone pressed to his ear, voice loud, energized. "Oh my God, yes, I'm in," he said. "A weekend away is exactly what I need." Pause, laugh. "No, Piper's not coming. Don't be ridiculous." He hung up and turned to me, smiling like he'd just won something. "Good news," he said. "The guys and I are going to the lake for the weekend, leaving tomorrow." This was the first I'd heard of it. "Oh," I said carefully. "Okay, which lake?" A normal question, a logistical question, a question asked by someone who thought she mattered. Jason laughed, not warmly, not kindly. One of his friends, Evan, had just walked in, and Jason turned to him like he was delivering stand-up. "Can you believe this?" Jason said. "She wants to know where I'm going." Evan snorted. Jason turned back to me, hands on his hips, eyes sharp. "Stop acting like we're married," he said. "You don't get a say in where I go or who I'm with." The room erupted. Laughter bounced off the walls of my kitchen. I stood there holding a wooden spoon, pasta sauce dripping onto the floor, and something inside me went very still. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't defend myself. The part of me that had been negotiating for scraps quietly packed her bags and left. I smiled. A wide, pleasant, completely empty smile. "You're right," I said lightly. "My mistake." They laughed again. Jason patted my cheek like I was a child who'd finally learned something. Then they left, already planning drinks, already forgetting me. I stood alone in the kitchen long after the door closed. The sauce bubbled, the house breathed. "Okay," I said softly to myself. "Not married, no say. Got it." The moment Jason's car disappeared down the street Friday afternoon, something inside me clicked into place. Not rage, not panic. Clarity. The house felt different immediately. Lighter, like it had been holding its breath for 6 months and had finally exhaled. I didn't cry. I didn't spiral. I made a list. The first thing on it wasn't packing or redecorating. It was Mrs. Gable. Mrs. Gable lived next door. She was 81, widowed, and possessed a level of neighborhood awareness that could only be described as weaponized curiosity. She knew everyone's schedules, visitors, and secrets. Nothing happened on our street without passing through her mental filing system. I baked her favorite lemon cake, store-bought, but she never asked questions, and carried it over like a peace offering. We sat on her porch, rocking chairs creaking, sunlight slanting across her roses. After polite conversation about the weather and the moral decline of the local squirrels, I told her everything. I repeated Jason's words exactly. "Stop acting like we're married. You don't get a say." Mrs. Gable's sweet smile vanished. "Well," she said slowly, setting down her tea, "that boy has no sense." I explained what I needed. Just a few lines. Perfect timing. Her eyes lit up. "Oh, honey," she said, squeezing my hand. "I've been waiting my whole life for a role like this." With my accomplice secured, I went home and began the real work. I didn't throw Jason's things into boxes. I curated them. I bought heavy-duty moving boxes and a thick black marker. The first box, everyday clothes. The second, fancy clothes for events I'm not invited to. The third, shirts that say relax in aggressive fonts. His shoes went into a box labeled Identity Crisis, size 11. His grooming products, 27 bottles that all claimed to do different things, went into various liquid promises. I worked methodically, calmly. By Saturday morning, every trace of Jason's physical presence was gone. I hired movers through an app and watched as they loaded everything into a small storage unit. I paid for 1 month up front. a generous non-marital gesture. Then I reclaimed my house. Out went the beige throw pillows. Out went the fragile glass decor that existed solely to be dusted. I rolled up the neutral rug and replaced it with a deep green one that actually hid dirt. I sold the white couch online and bought a massive leather sectional with cup holders built into the arms. Plural, excessive, glorious. The bedroom was next. I took down the abstract art Jason insisted was about energy and replaced it with framed photography, mountains, forests, places that felt solid. And then came my final move. I drove to the local animal shelter just to look. An hour later, I came home with Atlas. Atlas was a 110-pound St. Bernard mix with paws the size of dinner plates and eyes that looked at me like I was the center of his universe. He claimed the new couch immediately. The house wasn't quiet anymore. It was alive. That night, I changed the Wi-Fi name. Not _married. _no_say. I sat on my reclaimed sofa, Atlas's massive head in my lap, and waited. Jason would be home soon. And for the first time in months, I felt ready. Sunday night, 9:07 p.m. My phone buzzed with the notification from the video doorbell. There he was. Jason stood on the porch with a faint tan and the relaxed posture of someone who believed the world had waited for him to return. He set his duffel bag down, stretched, and reached for his key. It slid into the lock. It didn't turn. He frowned and tried again, harder this time. From the living room, Atlas lifted his massive head, let out a low, warning woof, and then went back to sleep. Jason stepped back, irritation flashing across his face. He checked the key, like it had personally betrayed him. Then he knocked. Once, twice. "Piper," he called. I stayed seated. The knocking turned into pounding. "Piper, open the door. What is this?" My phone lit up. His name. Decline. Again. Decline. By the fifth call, his voice had risen to panic. "My key isn't working." Still, I didn't move. 5 minutes later, right on cue, the porch light next door flicked on. Mrs. Gable appeared in her robe, watering can in hand like a stage prop. "Oh, Jason?" she called, feigning surprise. "Is that you, dear?" He rushed toward her like a drowning man spotting land. "Mrs. Gable, thank God. I can't get in. Is Piper home? I can see the lights." "Oh, she's home," Mrs. Gable said cheerfully. "She's had the most wonderful weekend." Jason blinked. "What?" "She told me the good news," Mrs. Gable continued, lowering her voice conspiratorially. "That you two aren't married. That she doesn't get a say in anything you do." Jason stiffened. "Well," Mrs. Gable said, beaming, "she decided to celebrate her freedom. Redecorated the whole house. It's very sturdy now." Jason slowly turned toward the living room window. I watched from the couch as his face pressed against the glass. The leather sofa, the deep green rug, Atlas, snoring, sprawled, magnificent, exactly where Jason used to sit. His mouth fell open. "And the dog," Mrs. Gable added gently. "Atlas. Such a loyal boy. She said she wanted a companion who came home every night." Jason stumbled back like he'd been struck. His phone buzzed in his hand. That was when I texted him. "You told me to stop acting like we're married. You said I don't get a say. I agree. This is my house, and you don't get a say in how I live in it. Your belongings are safe in storage. 123 Storage Way, Unit 42. 1 month is paid. Take care." I blocked him. Outside, Jason screamed. It wasn't a word, just raw sound. He kicked the porch rail, dragged his hands through his hair, and paced like a trapped animal. 10 minutes later, one of his friends pulled up and loaded him into the car without making eye contact. I scratched Atlas behind the ears. The storm had passed. The fallout didn't happen quietly. It never does when someone like Jason loses control of the narrative. By Monday morning, my social feeds were flooded. Not with names, not with specifics, just carefully curated sadness. Black and white photos, soft music, captions about knowing your worth and cutting toxic people out. Jason never mentioned me directly. He didn't have to. The implication did the work for him. A few people messaged me at first. Gentle check-ins, confused questions. I answered none of them. Silence has weight when you let it sit. For 2 days I said nothing. Then I posted. Not a rant, not an explanation. A photo album. The first picture was my living room from a month earlier. White couch, beige rug, decor that felt like it had been chosen by an algorithm. The caption read, "Before." The second picture was the living room now. Leather sectional, green rug. Atlas stretched out like he owned the place. Sunlight pouring in. After. The final photo was a selfie. Me on the couch. Atlas's head on my shoulder. Both of us calm, solid. The caption was simple. I was told we weren't married and I didn't get a say. So I listened. No say, no stay. That was it. The response was immediate. People laughed, shared, commented with a clarity that hadn't existed before. The story shifted. This wasn't heartless girlfriend kicks boyfriend out. This was man dismisses relationship, shocked when taken seriously. Jason's post stopped. His friends went quiet. A week later, I received a letter from a lawyer demanding access to the house and compensation for emotional distress. My lawyer responded with my mortgage, utility bills, and a polite inquiry asking whether Jason intended to reimburse me for 6 months of rent, food, and utilities as a non-marital guest. We never heard back. Stop! Part 5. Peace at last. The last update came unexpectedly. I was at the dog park with Atlas a month later, watching him attempt to fit 3 tennis balls into his mouth at once, when someone approached me hesitantly. It was Evan. He looked smaller, less sure. "Hey, Piper," he said. "I just wanted to say, we were out of line that night. I'm sorry." I nodded. "I know." He hesitated. "Jason's back with his parents. They're making him get a job." I smiled, not cruelly, just neutrally. "Good," I said. Evan glanced at Atlas. "Looks like you're doing okay." "I am." And I was. The house isn't quiet anymore, but it's peaceful. The pinball machine I almost bought still sits in my saved listings. Atlas sheds like it's his job. The couch has scratches. It's home. I learned something important. Sometimes people tell you exactly how much you matter to them. The trick isn't arguing. It's believing them. Jason said I didn't get a say. And now in his life, I truly don't. And in mine, he doesn't either.